Candy and I had gone to our oncologist, my oncologist, and I had some symptoms that were showing up that he had asked about, our oncologist had asked about, and we explained to him what was going on. Shakiness in my hands and shortness of memory, and I wasn't remembering everything that was taking place. And he recommended an MRI. So we went to Premier Imaging, which is down towards St. Vincent's, and he, as a result of that, they found a tumor in the brain.
We are sent to see the doctor at UAB, a neurologist, oncologist. He looks at it and he says, yes, it's there. He's looking at the MRI. Yes, it's there. And yes, there is minimal swelling. And so I want to meet with a board of doctors that meet early in the morning, and we will determine what we need to do. He wasn't sure whether they needed to wait. And so they met on a Tuesday morning. By 9 o'clock that morning, they're calling us, telling us they got to get that thing out of there.
As a result, they said we need to do a gamma knife procedure, which is some kind of super duper whiz bang thing where they put your head in a machine and they start, taking care of what was inside your head with a radioactive type procedure, which involved a number of steps. It was putting screwing a helmet into my head, which was a metal shield, and it screwed it in here and back here, and then they stuck everything that was screwed together into the MRI, which hurt quite a bit. Then after it was all screwed together, they wanted to stuff me in another MRI, which was extremely painful. And after we got it all screwed together and entered into the machine, we went through about six sessions of MRI, where they went through about 6 of these time elements, where they ran the machine for, each time was maybe, I'm going to guess, was probably anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes each or 15 minutes each. And at the end of those time elements, we were able to, take it out and rest and then wait and see, what the results were.
About 9:30, they come out and ask me to come back. I go into the waiting area where they have Daddy, and they have him in this cage. I can only see his mustache and his eyes. And I'm thinking, oh my word, what's going on? They haven't even done anything yet. But the doctor's standing there with his eyes wide open, very, very serious. And I'm thinking, oh my word.
Dr. Guthrie came in the waiting room, and he asked me why I was in the waiting room and what the symptoms were. And as I explained what the symptoms were, he said, well, none of that is present right now. We don't see any of that.
And then he explains the unexplainable. He can't find a tumor. It's not there. They have looked, and it's not there. The radiation surgeon is a woman. And she's standing there. She's got the biggest smile on her face. I mean, the emotions in that room were unreal. And he says, there's no tumor. And I look at Daddy, you know what's happened, don't you? And Daddy shakes his head. And I says, we've had a miracle. That's when the doctor slips out real quick, because he can't explain anything, and he's not going to go there. And then the nurse meets me and says, go on out to the car and get the car, and we'll bring him out to you. I get out to the car. I am so excited. I'm dialing Laura Chandler up, and I'm screaming in the phone, we got a miracle, we got a miracle. She's at work. I said, get on Facebook, get on Twitter, get on Snapchat. You let the world know God has given us a gift of hope. Because we had met a mountain of discouragement. We were totally against that mountain of discouragement. And God told me after this, I've mowed down the mountain. It's gone.
It just reminds me, the scripture says, pray without ceasing. Jesus said, if you say to this mountain, be removed and cast into the sea, and you have the faith the size of a grain of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And I can't explain everything, and I don't know everything that happens, but I know this, that God is a God who heals us. He doesn't forget about us. He knows exactly what we need. He knows when we need it, and He's our healer. And I thank God for the miracle that Ed's experienced in his life.